Well, how you doing, Mr. DJ here? Well, I'm running behind again tonight. I fooled around with Facebook for too long, so I'm gonna try to cut. I like to cut about 3 or 4 videos, but it'll probably be just two tonight for my '60s YouTube channel. Outsourcing Billboard's Hot 100 of March 2nd, 1969. Let's go back. Top five hits from that week to give you a perspective, because I'm gonna get into an ultimate. Well, not an ultimate Lost 45, but a Lost 45 just the same. Proud Mary by Creedence Clearwater Revival at number 5, up from number 9 that week. Touch Me by the Doors, number 4. Build Me Up Buttercup by the Foundations at number 3. And Crimson and Clover by Tommy James at number 2. Everyday People by Sly and the Family Stone at number 1. But let's go all the way down to a debut record at number 100. The bottom rungs of Billboard's Hot 100. It almost made top 40, this record. Engelbert Humperdinck, The Way It Used to Be. Engelbert Humperdinck. His real name is Arnold. I keep thinking it's George Arnold Dorsey, but it's Arnold George Dorsey. That was his real name. And he had been struggling in the music business for a few years back in the early to mid-'60s when he teamed up with Gordon Manning. That's when his fortunes changed. Gordon Manning, he knew that Arnold had been struggling in the music industry. He suggested a name change, an arresting name change. Why don't you call yourself, instead of Arnold George Dorsey, call yourself Engelbert Humperdinck? Now, I read somewhere that Arnold George Dorsey was reluctant. The name change sounded a little corny. As a matter of fact, legend has it that when he informed his band members of the name change, they just burst out laughing, Engelbert Humperdinck. But there was an Engelbert Humperdinck, a 19th century composer of operas, such as Hansel and Gretel. Well, it stuck. The name stuck. He didn't adopt the name legally, but he did adopt it as his stage name. We all got to know him as Engelbert Humperdinck. First success was in Belgium. 1966, Damage. And in the mid-'60s, this is fascinating. I just found this out. In the mid-'60s, Engelbert Humperdinck, he went to Spain. He paid a visit to Bert Kaempfert, the legendary German composer. And Kaempfert gave Engelbert Humperdinck 3 tunes to arrange: Spanish Eyes, Strangers in the Night, and Wonderland by Night. Well, get this. Engelbert Humperdinck, he went back to England. He recorded all 3 of those songs. Engelbert Humperdinck saw potential in Strangers in the Night. He went up to his manager, Gordon Manning. He said something like, "Gordon, this song, my rendition of Strangers in the Night, this has got possibilities. I think this song could fly. Can it be released as a single?" Gordon Mann said no, can't do it, because Frank Sinatra had already asked for that record. Undaunted. Well, success came soon enough for Engelbert Humperdinck. Release Me in 1967. Now get this about Release Me for you rock and roll fans. This will disappoint the rock and roll fans. In England, it was on the English Top 40 for 56 weeks. I wrote that down somewhere. 56 weeks. Like 56 weeks? God, what was that, like half a year or something like that? Well, anyway, it kept the Beatles, Strawberry Fields Forever / Penny Lane out of the #1 spot in Britain. How about that? That was a hell of an achievement. But you see, the thing about it is, it's an easygoing record. It's a laid-back record. This is a record, the Beatles' Strawberry Fields Forever would probably strike a lot of people as being strange at the time. But Release Me? Hey, how mainstream can you get? And then there came Am I Easy to Forget? Well, I think Am I Easy to Forget? That was one of his records. That was a country record. Jim Reeves covered it. George Jones covered it. Although Debbie Reynolds did a cover of it in 1960. And there was also There Goes My Everything and The Last Waltz. Remember, The Last Waltz was beautiful back in the fall of '67. And then in 1969, Winter World of, I always forget the name of the record. Just bear with me. I'm just all over my notes on this and trying to gather all this into my memory banks. I believe it's "To Win a World of Love" or something like that. That was a big hit in 1969. Don't quote me on that. That's not the exact title of the record, but that was later in 1969, early 1970. And then this song at number 100, "The Way It Used to Be" by Engelbert Humperdinck. It went as high as number 42 on Billboard's Hot 100. And by the way, it was Gordon Manning. I forgot to mention this, but it's Gordon Manning who got the deal with Decca Records for Engelbert Humperdinck, and that was in 1966, might have been 1965. Well, I believe I covered all the basics on Engelbert Humperdinck. Song at number 100, making its debut. Billboard's Hot 100, March 2nd, 1969. "The Way It Used to Be" by Engelbert Humperdinck.